Hello everybody, JLR here. Welcome to the first actually tough tutorial of the series where we're going to be looking at mixins, which are a vitally important key aspect of modding in Fabric. So much so that they're basically a replacement for Forge events and all the hooks you would have in Forge. So if you want to do any serious modding, you absolutely have to learn mixins. We're going to go over the very basics right now. There's a lot of stuff to learn, and really a lot of it just comes down to practicing and looking at examples and looking at other projects. We're going to add some custom functionality to our gunpowder armor. Of course, gunpowder, being the flammable substance that it is, would probably go boom if you were standing in fire. So we're going to have the player explode if they're standing in fire with the gunpowder armor on. And we're going to do that by injecting our own code into living entity's tick method. Should be, is it base tick? Looks like it is. I'm not seeing any, oh, there is a tick method. So I'm going to inject right here into tick, and we're going to just check if the player is on fire and if they have gunpowder on. And if they do, we go boom. So we have our mod_id.mixins.json file here. And you can see we have this package set up with com github drailar mixin. Now we deleted this folder earlier, so we're going to recreate it. Our mixin folder. We're going to create a new mixin called living entity mixin, and then we're just going to add it to our mixins block here. If it was a client-side only mixin that you only want to have on the client, you could add it into your client block, but because we want it to be on both the server and the client, it'll be in our general mixins block. Now, for a mixin, the first thing we have to do is use the mixin annotation and add a target class. And our target's going to be living entity, which is basically anything that can have armor. Now, to briefly explain mixins, it's exactly as the name suggests. We have existing code from Minecraft, and we're going to mix in our own code, or inject our own code into a certain spot and do whatever we want. So, for a basic injection, I'm going to say inject. We want to inject at head, and then the method's going to be tick. So, that basically just means we're going on the first line of the tick method. And then I'm going to fill in parameters, which is just a callback info, which can be used to, say, cancel the tick method if we don't want to go all the way to the end. And I'm just going to say, so living entity has, it should be up here, equipped armor. And I want to see where that's initialized. Alright, so it's a defaulted list for big. So I'm going to do item stack helmet stack is equal to armor, equipped armor dot get 0. We're going to do chest plate stack, legging stack, boot stack. We're going to get 3, get 2, and get 1. So we have all the player's armor. Now we're going to say if helmet stack dot get item equals my mod dot, I'm going to make these public so that I can access them. And this is why we store static instances at the top of our mod class, so that we can access them in other areas. So if the helmet stack is gunpowder helmet, oops, I'm also going to have a int explosion count is equal to 0. I'm going to say if is on, let's see, is there a, surely there's a fire field somewhere in here. There might actually not be. It's a bit of a disappointment. Let me see if player entity has anything about being on fire. Entity has is on fire. So if we want to access methods from a superclass, we can extend the class that has that method, and then we're just going to make this abstract so we don't have to implement methods, and then add the constructor, which won't ever be called, so it doesn't really matter. I'm going to say if is on fire. We only want this logic to run if we're on fire. Get the helmet stack, get the chest plate, okay. Say explosion count plus plus, and then we're going to do that for all of the armor types. There is absolutely a better way to do this, but we're not going to. Then we're going to say if explosion count is greater than 0, I'm going to copy the logic from our boom boom enchantment. We're going to say this dot x, this dot y. We're going to remove this. So we're just going to spawn TNT where the player's at. And for good measure, I'm also going to print out each stack because I'm not entirely sure what the order is. If helmet is at 0 or if boots are at 0. So in case this doesn't work, this is just our backup, so we can fix it quicker. So that's our basic mixin. This all will be called at the beginning of living entity's tick method, which is called 20 times a second. And then we've registered our mixin over here, so we should be good to go. Let's just run our mod. Alright, I'm not instantly blowing up, which is a fairly good sign. Let me get flint and steel. I'm going to set the difficulty to peaceful. I'm going to go game mode survival. I'm going to place fire down. I'm going to walk into it. And we're not blowing up, which means something didn't work. So let's look at log. So I see 0 is boots, which means I think I got the order wrong. Helmet stack dot get 3, get 2, get 1, get 0. Should be good. See if we can blow up this time. That seemed to have worked. So basically what happened was our player was on fire. We got the item stacks from, our inventory, our armor stacks. And then for each piece of armor that we could possibly have, we just said if it's our gunpowder item, we increase our explosion count, and then if our explosion count is greater than 0, so if we have any gunpowder armor on, we just spawn TNT for however many armor counts we have. In that case, it would be 4 pieces of TNT instantly going off. If I went just gunpowder boots, I'd probably, not go as far, because the explosion is not as big. Gunpowder leggings, a little bit bigger. The 4 of these. You get the idea. Kind of fun. Good thing I'm in creative mode because I would have gone boom very quickly. So that's the power of Mixins. There's a lot of stuff you could do here. You know, on hit, you could have custom actions associated with, if the target I'm hitting has special armor, do this. We could mix into the sheep AI to make it do funny things. We could change the world generator. I mean, there's so much potential with this, and you'll absolutely be using it as time goes on. So it's important to learn the basics. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.